You've spent months preparing for this. Squats, cardio, breaking in new boots. Now you're finally stepping onto the trail for your first major mountain ascent. For the first few hours, everything goes exactly as planned. Your legs burn a little, but it is that familiar, satisfying burn from the gym. You feel strong, capable, and ready for the summit. But then a strange wave hits you. Out of nowhere, your head starts throbbing. The horizon spins slightly, and a sudden wave of nausea makes you want to empty your stomach right there on the rocks. You figure you just need sleep. You drag yourself into your tent completely exhausted. But rest refuses to come. Instead, you spend the entire night tossing, turning, and staring wide awake at the nylon ceiling. It is easy to blame the trail mix you ate for lunch, or to think you somehow didn't train hard enough. Without realizing it, you crossed a specific, invisible boundary. Right around 8,000 feet, or roughly 2,500 meters, the environment changes. You are experiencing high-altitude sickness, a state where the atmosphere itself has turned against your biology. A common assumption is that as you climb higher, the mountain physically runs out of oxygen. However, the chemical makeup of the air up there is exactly the same as it is at the beach. Down at sea level, miles of air press down with a massive weight, atmospheric pressure. This squeezes oxygen molecules tightly together, giving your lungs a dense handful of oxygen. Past 8,000 feet, there's less atmosphere above. The weight lifts, and oxygen molecules drift apart. When your lungs expand to the exact same size they always do, they take in the same volume of air. But because those molecules are so spread out, you only capture a fraction of the fuel you normally would. You are gasping for air while breathing normally. The density of oxygen has dropped so low that a single breath no longer sustains your muscles and organs. When your brain detects this sudden drop in oxygen density, it sounds an alarm. It signals the heart to pump harder and the lungs to breathe faster, in a desperate attempt to gather more fuel. The pounding headache is caused by blood vessels expanding to deliver more blood to the brain. The fatigue and nausea are the result of your body shutting down non-essential functions, like digestion, to conserve energy. Many climbers interpret these physical alarms as a test of willpower and attempt to push upward out of stubbornness. Advancing further while the body is starving for oxygen leads to severe conditions like HAPE and HACE. HAPE stands for high-altitude pulmonary edema, and HACE stands for high-altitude cerebral edema. Pulmonary edema involves fluid leaking directly into your lungs, making it even harder to breathe. Cerebral edema involves dangerous fluid causing your brain to swell against your skull. These symptoms indicate a hard biological boundary and signal that your internal systems are approaching a complete failure. The human body is a highly adaptable machine. It has the capacity to recalibrate its internal chemistry to function in low-pressure environments. This process of building extra red blood cells to carry more oxygen takes several days of exposure. This chart compares a steep, direct ascent to a staggered, step-like path. The horizontal sections represent mandatory rest periods that allow your blood chemistry to catch up with the thinning air. Adaptation also requires aggressive and continuous hydration. The dry mountain air strips moisture from your lungs with every rapid breath, and replacing that water keeps your circulatory system moving the limited oxygen you have. For high-risk ascents, doctors can prescribe preventative medications like acetazolamide. Acetazolamide is a drug that changes the acid balance in your blood, which forces you to breathe deeper and faster, speeding up the acclimatization process. These tools allow a climber to work in harmony with the mountain's environment. Reaching the summit requires respecting the physics of pressure and allowing the body the grace period it needs to rewrite its own rules.